everyone. My name is Himanshu Talwar, and this is the 7th episode of the PlayStation Enthusiast Podcast. Today I am joined by the illustrious Josh Brant.
Hello, sir.
And of
How
course,
are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Awesome. I watched your favorite movie this weekend. You know what that is? Captain America
movie.
Civil War with your favorite character of all time.
I don't know.
Start of the show.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we all know your adoring love.
Spider-Man was fantastic in that movie.
Oh my gosh.
let's
so great.
For
he
that,
had
that
no
part of the
point.
podcast.
He had no point in that movie, but that was just so awesome. Just seeing him there.
It was fantastic. He stole the entire movie. That was really good.
You guys are gonna give me nightmares. The other voice that you guys heard is the rock solid Mario Piacquadio.
Oh, hello everybody. Hashtag let Mario host.
Hashtag let Mario host.
This is something that Josh started.
Yes,
Josh started this last week on a Facebook group, and I am totally gonna make this a thing. Stealing it from some other people, but I'm totally making this a thing from now on.
Yes, cool. And you received the Tim Geddes stamp of approval as well.
Exactly. So yeah, Tim Geddes liked it, and so let Mario host. That's gonna be a thing right now. Hi everybody.
Well,
we
Mario,
will flip a coin.
we'll flip a coin, and that will tell your future.
Exactly.
But until then, let's get right into the news. The first piece of news that we have this week is Battlefront 2 being announced. How do you guys feel about that?
I love the first Battlefront, and it was a very divisive game, so this is inevitable. If you sell 13 million copies, you're going to get a sequel, and it's Star Wars. I just hope that they really differentiate the series this time and make space combat and put a proper single-player campaign in it, because that's what was lacking with the first one, even though my son played more than I did. That's how much he loved the game, and he's 7 years old, so he actually became better than me at the game. And yeah, we just enjoy playing it. It's just a fun game. There's really no depth to it, but yeah, I'm happy for it.
Yeah, and touching on the single player mode, I think they might not do a full-fledged single player campaign, because we got news recently that Respawn Entertainment was also working on a third-person Star Wars game. So there's one first-person Star Wars game, which is Battlefront, and there's two other third-person action games on the line that might get the single player out of it.
I think what you're going to see out of Battlefront 2 is a shoe-in kind of single-player a la Titanfall.
Yeah.
And then you're going to see space combat for sure, because that pissed off a lot of people before. What I think EA is good at is giving people what they want, simply because that's what sells copies. And we see the opposite of that happening with the Call of Duty franchise. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I think they're going to give you exactly what they want, what you want, but it's going to be kind of that genie from a lamp wish, where it's not exactly what you wished for in terms of the single player campaign, but it's a single player campaign, quote unquote. So it's good enough for most people, I think.
Yeah, and that'll please everyone anyway, because it, like I said, most people enjoyed it. You had the haters, but it was a fun time regardless. So
yeah. Right. The next piece of news that we have is kind of somber. Disney Infinity is shutting down, as is the studio that was making it. About 300 jobs being lost. So our hearts obviously go out to those people.
Isn't just closing that. Disney is getting out of the publishing game. They're done with it. They're not They're closing down their publishing. They're closing down Disney Infinity. For some reason, they decided that video games weren't the market for them.
Yeah, they weren't making money from it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Ogle's amount of money in movies and other properties, but the gaming side, I guess they weren't. And I thought the game was doing fairly well. I mean, you don't really read any bad reviews from it. And it's funny because I actually bought this for my son's birthday. And it was on sale, and we got all these figures, but now, as soon as we get this, they're not going to make anything else. They're going to finish out some runs of characters and packs, but after that, it's gone. So we'll be buying a lot of those $1.99 figures when they finally get on sale.
Yeah.
I think they were just in the wrong market.
That's sad.
Like, I think Disney has potential to do well in the video game space, but when you have competitors like the Amiibos and Skylanders, you kind of set yourself up to lose in that situation, because who really wants Disney Infinity toys unless they are 7 years old, like Josh's kid. When there's two other solutions on the market that seem a bit more
even
mature.
3, because Lego Dimensions is also
right, Lego
that
Dimensions
genre
as well.
Yeah, so it's pretty sad. Our hearts go out to them. We hope you land on your feet, but they weren't making money, so that pretty much explains everything.
Yeah, and Star Wars will probably go over to Lego Dimensions or something.
Exactly. Yeah, Star Wars and Marvel and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of odd that it's closing just because they have all the Disney properties, but the figures look nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the game. It just didn't sell like they want. They were probably over predicting what their sales would be, and that's the downfall of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next piece of news that we have is Persona 5 having a release date. Unfortunately, though, it's only for Japan. September 15th, Persona 5 will be coming out. Mario, I know you're excited for Persona.
I'm very, very excited for Persona. Very excited. So, yeah, they only announced a release date for Japan, but they have said that it's still supposed to come out this year over here in the United States and in the West, basically. But one thing I heard recently is this doesn't necessarily mean that Persona 4 won't release on September 15 as well over here, because that the stream they announced that in was a very Japanese centric stream in general. It was in Japanese, and maybe they just wanted to speak to Japanese audiences and make a big deal out of it, and then later in E3 probably said like, oh, by the way, it's also releasing on the United States, maybe the same day, maybe a bit later, who knows. They know Persona 5 is gonna release here, and it's gonna sell a ton of copies. It's gonna do very well. There's no reason to delay the launch until 2017 or something just way too far away from the Japanese release, in my opinion.
Yeah, I did hear Colin speaking in that he thinks that at E3 they'll say, oh, it's coming out here as well, but I don't agree with that. In fact, I think that's probably really naive to think. It happens all the time where we have these Japanese streams, and then later that day when you ask PR agents after, they'll say, oh yeah, it's coming internationally. That's the date for it. But this time the PR agent specifically said, no, that's only a Japanese date. And I think the reason why they did that specifically for Japan is because they know Persona 5 will outsell Final Fantasy 15. They're not afraid of Final Fantasy 15 in Japan, but in a Western setting, in a Western setting, they need to be afraid of Final Fantasy 15 because a Final Fantasy 15 is going to eat their lunch. quite frankly.
I'm not sure
think,
if it's gonna be really that far because I think Persona 5 is gonna sell very well, but it'll probably get outsold by Final Fantasy 15. I don't think it's gonna be by a huge margin though.
I think we're going to see it sometime in November, maybe December, at least here. But they need to be afraid of Final Fantasy 15 in the West, and I think they're taking precautions for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Who knows, man?
Well, I think Final Fantasy 15 is a juggernaut they don't want to mess with, so just why fracture the audience? Just release it. Because I think it can oversell Final Fantasy 15 in Japan, just because I've never been to Japan, but from what I hear from people that have been there, Persona.
Yeah, Persona's huge over there.
Pretty much the biggest thing there, next to Pokemon. And, Final Fantasy 15 will be big there too, but, it has the multi-consoles too, which you can't really count Xbox because who plays an Xbox in Japan, really?
Yeah, right. Nobody.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm intrigued. Persona, people think it's this huge thing. It's still sort of maybe underground internationally. I still think people that say Final Fantasy 15 it's going to be close. I don't think that's really indicative of what it's going to be. So that's just my Final Fantasy 15 looks fantastic too. So that'll sell like hotcakes at the end of the year.
Yeah, but honestly, I think you guys may be underestimating a bit how well, at least in my opinion, how well Persona 5 is going to do. And because, like I've said before, Persona has had a lot of word of mouth. Gamers not necessarily have played Persona, but they know what Persona is. They've heard fantastic things about it. And I think Persona 5 could be a huge seller here. And I also think that even though they're both Japanese RPGs, the fan base, the both markets that they're aimed at, both Final Fantasy 15 and Persona 5, they're not really the same group of people. Even though they're both JRPGs, they're very different games. Final Fantasy 15 goes a bit more towards action-y game, open world like game, and Persona 5 is more of a hardcore JRPG, and I think those are two very different fan bases. So I think they can both drop at the same time and still sell huge.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that it won't sell huge, but I'm just saying that those bases you're talking about, there's a lot more people on the Final Fantasy 15, open world JRPG versus the hardcore JRPG audience of Persona. So
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I think Persona is going to well outsell what the sales will indicate, but I think Final Fantasy 15 just has the name recognition, and of course the recent games have sucked, minus Final Fantasy 14, which I can't play because it's an MMO or won't play. But yeah, we'll see. I'm intrigued.
So am I.
Speaking as someone who's in both of those circles, I can tell you that Final Fantasy 15 is probably going to sell 7-1 what Persona is going to sell, and I think that the people who are playing Final Fantasy 15, they might not be interested in Persona 5, but the people who are interested in Persona 5 are definitely interested in Final Fantasy 15. You don't see it going both ways, but you do see one of them eating the other one out, and so I think the sales figures will show it, but I can say now you're probably going to see 5 times, 7 times around that range sales differential.
I'm not sure about that.
Moving on.
Time will tell. Mario's like, no, can't be true. No,
yeah. No, I'm not.
Persona's
I personally don't mind. Persona's gonna make its money back for sure, but I really think you guys may be underestimating it a bit. I Final Fantasy 15 will probably outsell it, but I don't think it's gonna be that big of a margin.
See, what I really wish they would do is release Persona 4 Golden on the PS4 and get it out there, because, it was on the PS2 also, but not many people played it when it was over there. And, it's on Vita
and on
Island.
Vita, which not a lot of people play. Yeah.
Right, so...
We'll see.
Yeah, they won't do that, but it'd be wise.
But moving on, we have Battlefield 1 being announced, which is now, from what I understand, a World 1 trench shooter.
Yeah, it's a World War One trench shooter, basically.
So yeah, how do you guys feel about that?
So yeah, the funny thing is how finally we're starting to see really the two big shooter franchises differentiate each other. We have the Call of Duty side going super futuristic and sci-fi and space combat, and we have the Battlefield side not trying to do the same, just steering definitely away from that and going to an era which we don't get much in gaming. We get a ton of World War II, or we used to get a ton of World War II shooters, but never really a World War One shooter, and they decided to go for it. That was a brutal war. A lot of trench warfare, a lot of gas, monster gas warfare. I'm very interested to see the game, how the game does, and people on the internet are definitely steering to Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1, the trailer is the most liked video game trailer of all time, getting 1 million and something likes. And on the other hand, the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare trailer is the most disliked video game trailer of all time, with over 1 million dislikes.
But you know what they'll say. We hate the trailer, but we're still gonna buy it.
Yeah, that's people who say like, "Oh, Call of Duty is dead." That's just, I'm sorry, that's just stupid. It's not dead. Call of Duty will sell like insane. Even Activision's talked about it. Like they said, our most successful game was the most disliked. We had the most disliked trailers of our history. So they really don't care, because yeah, people are gonna go and they're gonna jump on the hate bandwagon, but millions of people are gonna buy Call of Duty no matter what.
I just think it's funny how they're both deferring so much.
Yeah, that's a funny thing.
Battlefield 4 was an unmitigated disaster when it launched, online anyway. So they sort of have to still win back those players. And personally, I mean, I think that going back to World War One, many people are intrigued. They want a proper first-person shooter set in that time period, which, if they're saying they're going for the ultra-realistic version, like you said, with gas warfare and trench warfare, it's not really applicable, because you're going to have one series that's going all fast-paced, running off walls, jetpacking, and the other, sitting there for like 10 hours in a trench waiting just to spawn and go up. But
that's the thing. I think EA is handling it a bit, maybe in a smart way, because they said the main campaign is not going to be just a main character. It's going to have a ton of different main characters that are in different places in the war. So you have like one character which is down in the ground, one character which is a pilot, another character who likes tanks and stuff like that. So maybe that's the way you keep it a bit faster. Go to a guy over there in the ground and then move to a girl in the sky and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be slow like that, but
yeah,
it'll be interesting. Yeah, like you said, tackling the different aspects of the war, and sort of go for that Valiant Hearts sort of deal where you actually switch between characters, and hopefully they make the story heartfelt, like that, like the actual warfare, and not just guns blazing crazy, because I think that would resonate with a lot more people positively.
Yeah, it needs to have a really good single-player campaign, which Battlefield 4 didn't have, but Battlefield Hardline, I mean, a lot of people really liked the single-player campaign there. So it needs to have a good single-player campaign. And I think that will differentiate the games, because the last Call of Duty campaign wasn't very good, really. I for one, didn't like it. And maybe if I'm intrigued for just basically the single player aspect. I'm very intrigued to see a game set in World War One. So yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah. I'm not gonna, to be honest, I'm not gonna play either one, but I hope Battlefield 1 sells well.
Yeah,
'Cause they're
I'm
trying
just
something
keeping my eye out.
different.
Exactly. Yeah, they're steering away from what we've seen before, and that's refreshing to see. Like I said, the two big juggernauts of shooting going in such opposite routes.
Yep.
Cool.
Moving on, we have the April's top downloads coming straight from the PlayStation blog. They share this every month. The top selling games, digital only, on the PSN store. So Mario, can you please run us through that?
I will run you through that. Hang on, it's loading for a bit. Computer's really slow. So yeah, you can speak maybe a bit while this loads.
But yeah.
Yeah. Battlefield.
I also saw the Jungle Book. I went to a drive-in to see
Really?
War.
I still haven't seen it.
How is it? I haven't seen it.
Dude, it's surprisingly really good. Like it sounds like it'd be cheesy, but the comedy is point on. Bill Murray as Baloo is hilarious. Like he has all the Bill Murray mannerisms, and they incorporate the songs in an awesome way. And yeah, it's clever.
That's awesome.
I enjoyed it.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm loading it on my phone. Here you go. So, the top downloads for April 2016 are: for the PS4, number 1 is Dark Souls 3, number 2 Ratchet and Clank, number 3 Rocket League, number 4 MLB The Show 16, number 5 Minecraft PlayStation 4, number 6 Tom Clancy's The Division, number 7 Grand Theft Auto 5, number 8 Enter the Gungeon, number 9 Beyond Two Souls, number 10 The Order 1886. So that's the top 10 for the PS4. Now PS3.
Nothing really surprising on the PS4 list. I think Ratchet and Clank is fairly high up for what we expected it to be.
Yeah, I'm glad. We spoke a bit last week. Insomniac said it was the best selling game in the franchise, in the Ratchet and Clank franchise, which I'm very happy about. I love that game.
Yeah, that's great. I'm just glad Dark Souls 3 is still number 1.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Great game.
So, PlayStation 3. Number 1, Minecraft. Number 2, MLB The Show 16. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 4, Okami HD. Number 5, Saints Row 4. Number 6, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Number 7, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Number 8, Lego Marvel Superheroes. Number 9, Little Big Planet 3. And number 10, Bayonetta.
Yeah, again,
my gosh.
Very tilted towards the sale that happened.
There's no Minecraft?
That's a sale.
Oh,
no,
Minecraft is number
Minecraft
one.
is number 1.
Oh, okay.
As always. Yeah, so we got a few that are maybe kind of strange to be there. We assume it's because of sale, like Okami, Saints Row 4, and Bayonetta.
Yeah, Bayonetta was $5. So.
Yeah, so that's why. Now, PS4 add-ons: Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Fallout 4, Wasteland Workshop, more Call of Duty number 3, Call of Duty number 4, Fallout 4 is number 5, The Elder Scrolls Online number 6, Rocket League number 7, The Division number 8, and number 9 and 10 are both Battlefront. Now, PS Vita games. Number 1 is Severed, which I am very happy about. Number 2, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Number 3, Risk of Rain, which I've heard is good. Number 4, Persona 4 Golden. Number 5, Axiom Verge, which I'm also very happy about. Number 6, Minecraft. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto PS Vita Collection. Number 8, XCOM Enemy Unknown Plus. Number 9, Shovel Knight. And number 10, Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution 2 Plus.
Yep. Yeah, we know it's not too hard to get on the PS Vita list, as seen by Taco Master, but still, big congrats to Drinkbox for Severed.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very glad. We have Severed and Axiom Verge on Vita, which are big games on Vita. I'm glad they're selling well, especially Severed because it's an exclusive. I hope those guys really can make their money back. I really do.
Yeah, they already made it back. I think it's just, hopefully people still continue it because that's the one game on the Vita that's worth supporting.
It's a fantastic game. It's a really, really good game. As we've said, we're really big fans about it. So Sever.
And play Guacamelee too.
Guacamelee is fantastic also. Yeah. And it's best on the Vita. It's really best on the Vita. So now the final list: PS Classics. Number 1, Bully. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Number 3, Rogue Galaxy. Number 4, Manhunt. Number 5, Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy. Number 6, Max Payne. Number 7, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Number 8, Mega Man Legends 2. Number 9, Mega Man Legends. And number 10, Suikoden 2.
Suikoden.
Yeah, again, I imagine
that's a lot of that is due to the Grand Theft Auto sale, Rockstar sale or whatever.
Yeah, the Rockstar sale.
I would imagine it's again not too difficult to get on that list, considering it's probably selling less than the Vita games. But
the top 5 games are all Rockstar PS2 games, so there's that.
No, Rogue Galaxy. I didn't know Rockstar made that one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Rogue Galaxy was number 4. Sorry. So yeah,
great game 3. By the way.
Rogue Galaxy, famously made by Rockstar.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the news for this week. The new releases on PSN. Fairly short list.
It's not the biggest list in the world. You can definitely assume that's because Uncharted 4 released and nobody wants to release next to Uncharted. So there's only 3 games really. It's Uncharted 4. Oh yeah.
I was just going to say, we know what Himanshu is going to pick out of these 3.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The Japan man.
Yeah. There's 3 games. 2 of them are fairly big and one of them is Japanese. You know which one Himanshu likes. You know which one he likes. So it's Uncharted 4, Doom, and Mega Attack Mansion Blank plus Neptunia versus Zombies. Which one does Himanshu like the most out of these?
You win a prize.
Yeah, if you can guess that.
Actually, I don't even think Idea Factory wanted to launch Mega Attack Mansion this week. It was actually delayed for 2 weeks, and that's why it got shifted here. But we'll have a review out for that fairly soon. We got our code on Tuesday, Monday, something like that, and I've been plowing through that. So review soon.
Gotta get
those Uncharted
zombies.
Review soon.
Yep, by our one and only Mario.
Yeah. Speaking of reviews, I'm reviewing Uncharted 4, which is fairly.
No pressure.
I find it kind of funny because I'm not. It's very strange because it's the first review I do with the site. I'm the news editor, and like I said last week, I don't do reviews or features that often. But my first review is the biggest game of the entire year, probably. So that's cool.
Hey man, don't shit on Mega Tag Mansion.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mega Tag Mansion is right up there.
And Doom. Anybody gonna play Doom here?
I'm very, very interested in it. I think I'm gonna buy it. I loved Wolfenstein: The New Order. I really like it, and Doom seems really fun.
Yeah, I'm not cool. Interested. Sorry.
I might. I'm not really sure yet, but I might.
It's just run and gun. I mean, that's what Doom is. Yeah. Gory, so destroy, kill all.
We know probably no one except Mario will be playing Doom this Friday, but what have you guys been playing over the past week?
Yeah, so I have been playing. It's not too different from my list last week. I played Ratchet and Clank. Finally beat it. Really liked it. got some trophies. Didn't get the platinum. There's some trophies in there that are too annoying for me to get the platinum. And since last night, fairly late last night, Uncharted 4, I'm about to finish it. I'm on 4 chapters away from finishing it. I'll probably finish it tonight and get on the review. So that's basically my list.
Cool. Josh, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Of course, I did not get into Uncharted 4 like the rest of you as fast. I'm to chapter 3. So, but I will say, my goodness, it is the best, has to be the best looking game ever.
Yeah,
plus it controls like a dream.
It's mind-blowingly beautiful.
Played. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
if
you own a PS4, if you want something to show off to anybody, I mean, it beats out the Order 1886 now easily. So
for sure. We're gonna talk about it. It's the game of the week, of course, so we can get really deep into it.
Right. Well, not too deep. There won't be any spoilers. I'm not that far into it, so
not
I
any
know
spoilers.
Next to nothing.
We're gonna do a spoiler cast sometime, maybe next week, but not for now. For now, we're just gonna speak about it very, very broadly.
Fawn over this game. But the game that I've been spending the most time with is the Overwatch beta. And did you guys have a chance to play this at all?
Yeah, I played it on PC.
No, I didn't. I wanted to, but Uncharted 4 really took it for me.
As some people know, I am not a multiplayer gamer, but this is the one game that just it blew my mind. It's a game I want to buy day one now to play. I can't believe they have 21 classes and all of them have meaning. There's not one throwaway class. There's people that you won't like to play as, but overall, it's just great. I mean, the gunplay, the skills, you can pretty much play the way you want, whether it's supportive, defensive, offensive. I could find a class in every class that I would like to play and, felt like total badass just taking out people and supporting my team. And I'm not good at multiplayer shooters, but they do a real good job of helping people. They have their mid-tier people and then the expert people that you want to play as. And I can't praise it high enough. Like I said, I'm contemplating buying it day one now. The Reaper guy, oh man, he's good. How about Himanshu? Who do you like to play as the most?
So my favorite character was Diva, of course.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm really bad at shooters. Yeah, I'm awful at shooters, but so that's why I like to go with like tankier classes, because I misposition myself and I need to be able to take a lot of damage. What I liked about Overwatch was that it's really, really new friendly. It's a lot like Heroes of the Storm in a sense, where Overwatch, there's no KDA, there's no like you earn points, but really there's no way for you to stand out over your team during the heat of the battle. There is like rewards after the game, but during the game, everyone is kind of all on a level playing field, and it's just really easy to get into, easy to understand, and easy to enjoy. And I like that about it, because for someone like me who doesn't play a lot of multiplayer shooters, or doesn't play shooters in general, actually, it's nice to finally have that kind of stepping stone into the genre.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome because it comparatively to a fighting game, in that you have all the character classes, and just like any multiplayer shooter, it takes the best aspects of those characters and you can actually get things accomplished. May, I was another one I liked because she had the ice and she could build the barricades and stuff, and someone that you wouldn't think would be useful, but in the game it just, there's really you can be anyone and have a good time with. And it was great. Valkyria Chronicles, I played that, finished it, reviewed it. I've had that game for a good month now. The embargo just lifted recently, so you can go over and read my review right now. It's just as great if you played it before. 1080p, 60 frames per second. Great tactical action. If that's your thing, you should check that out. On the other tactical end of this things, Battle Worlds Chronos was another game I reviewed, and yeah, it was not a good game, really. If you're into deep strategy and boringness, then it might be your thing. But
if you're into boring stuff, yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. And then gotta close it off with Dark Souls 3. I keep coming back to that, and I will for the foreseeable future. It's like it's on a Bloodborne level. So, From Software, unite.
Yeah,
that is all.
Yeah, so I finished Coffin Dodgers, got the platinum. The review should
Your favorite
be out
game.
either. Yep, the review should be out either when you're listening to this or very soon. I scored it a 3. Don't buy it unless you want a free platinum.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
A 3. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's got to be your lowest.
No, yeah, by far.
Was it broken?
Touch-
Is that why?
That's it, when I boiled it down to the pros and cons. Like, my cons list was so long, and then my pros was like easy platinum. At least it works.
Okay, well that's reassuring.
So yeah, it runs well, but you don't want it to run well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and which is weird because the guys over at Xbox Enthusiast, and just so the listener knows, we don't actually talk between reviewers. Like, if we're reviewing the same game for different platforms, they scored it a 6, which is really, really high. And I was reading his review, and it's like, I was reading his review, and it's like the gameplay. He says the gameplay is not fun, and then he still tries to justify it. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can agree with this. So I didn't agree with it, and I gave it a 3.
So just for
say?
listeners to know, if a reviewer says a 6 is way too high, then it's not really a very good game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I also played Severed, which is the complete different end of the spectrum.
Here we go.
Yeah, don't necessarily agree with you guys that it's an amazing, groundbreaking game. I think that it's a solid game with solid core, but they failed to make the mechanics seem fresh throughout the game. It kind of got extremely repetitive by the end of it. Furthermore, they lacked a lot of the things that dungeon crawlers have kind of perfected over time, and it seemed like no one had really done their research in that field and kind of brought those solutions over to Severed. I loved the narrative over anything else.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and the odd thing about it is that it really doesn't come together until the end. You're kind of just like going along, you're thinking, all right, whatever, this is a fine game, whatever. It's not amazing like everyone else said, but then the end hits, the ending cinematic, and you're like, wow, that's really deep.
It is. Yeah, the story is surprisingly deep and sad.
Yeah.
That's throughout the whole time you're playing.
Yeah, just basically in the beginning and the end.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I thought of Severed.
But that's fair. That's fair.
Fantastic game, yeah. I do think Guacamelee was, not even close to this. Like, the gameplay in Severed is not even... It doesn't even touch the gameplay in Guacamelee. I thought Guacamelee was, like, miles ahead of this, and to see them, like, kind of revert back to something like Severed kind of makes me sad, but hopefully they because Drinkbox is really, really good at making good feeling games, and so they should just keep doing that. I don't know why they want to take risks like Severed, but I mean, they are artists, so
at least
I'm glad they did it, actually. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, the gameplay, I can see how you're saying it gets repetitive, but I think it's very responsive, at least. Like, you don't think... They made swiping a screen actually fun and intuitive, and you don't get that with touch-based games very often at all. I like going into this, I'm like, come on, you can just spam slashing, and, they add a lot of different mechanics to it. And that's what
I love it.
Sure.
About the game.
Once I finished it, I really wanted to just boot the game again and play through it again. I spent like the next 2 days or something thinking about fighting enemies, which was very strange. I really, really like that game.
I wish it was longer too.
Yeah, for sure. If it had been 10 hours long, I would have totally played the 10 hours and be super happy.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be longer while I was playing the game, but I like that they kept it that short. I think that
yeah, it's probably good. Yeah,
it would have gotten a bit too much for me had they kept it going for a few more hours. But moving on,
I really let's do that. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think we've spoken quite a bit about Severed.
Yeah, quite a bit.
At EGLX, there were some game vendors, as there are at a lot of conventions, and I picked up Time and Eternity, which is a fairly rare PS3 game. Came out at the near mid PS3 life cycle by NIS America. The game is not very good, but I've always wanted to play it, so I picked that up, tried it. Again, the game is awful. It's really not very good, but I'm going to stick through it eventually. So yeah, I'm playing through that on my PS3. I started Ratchet & Clank, liked what I played, but I didn't get far enough for it to hook me. I'm going to go back eventually. I've just been working on some other projects right now, so I need to finish those first and then come back to this. Finished Uncharted 1. The game was lackluster.
It's rough going back to it, I will admit.
Yeah, game was lackluster at best. Started One-Chanbara. I'm about halfway through that. Going to do something with that game soon. Mega Tag Mention Blank plus Neptune versus Zombies. Played that. About 75% finished that game, but I just need to finish that and write the review, and that'll be out. And then started Uncharted 2. Immediately as I booted up Uncharted 2, it fixed a lot of the issues that I had with Uncharted 1. But the shooting does feel really weird, and I don't know. I've stayed away from a lot of Uncharted commentary because I don't necessarily agree with it, so I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it feels
it's
like...
really floaty. It's floaty. Yeah, it doesn't feel accurate.
It feels weird. I mean, it to me seems like they built it from scratch as opposed to Uncharted 1, and it seems like they had a lot of missteps while making Uncharted 2, even though it is slightly better. The gunplay, some guns feel too heavy, some guns feel too light, and then the climbing, it feels more fluid, but at the same time feels less accurate. So I'm having some issues with it, but I like the narrative so far, so I'm gonna keep going with that, and we'll see what my thoughts are at the end of that.
We'll see. I love Uncharted. I really do. I could go on really.
Yeah, you're like
podcast.
The Uncharted.
In fact,
lover.
I did. In fact, shameless plug. I pretty much did go on an entire podcast with Brent. We recorded 3 episodes of a new show called Franchise Chat over at our YouTube, and the first franchise was Uncharted. We went on Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2, and I think this week Uncharted 3 goes up.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I literally did go on an hour-long podcast about Uncharted.
Interested to hear.
Yeah.
So, breaking news, guys. I think we'll soon. This is a little a teaser for the listeners, but I think we'll soon be doing a crossover podcast with Jason and Sean, who are over at Nintendo Enthusiasts. So stay up,
Dude.
Look
Oh
out.
yeah, that's cool.
What we call it,
So stay
Nintendo
tuned.
Sony Battle Royale.
Yeah, we'll
That
call
sounds
it
good.
PS Neo versus NX. That's the headline.
That's it. And PS Neo wins every time.
I think that goes without question. But yeah, that's the games that I've been playing. What about the game of the week? You guys played Uncharted 4. I haven't yet. So, again, no spoilers.
Oh, okay. No spoilers. Really, really no spoilers. I'm gonna let Josh speak about what he's played so far, and then I'm gonna speak about it in a broad sense and plug my review. So go ahead.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, it's sort of neat that we're on opposite sides of the spectrum. Like, I'm just really starting. Haven't even got my feet really wet with it yet. While you're almost finished and, have to dig deep. Question, have you played the multiplayer yet?
I haven't played it in this game, but I really played a ton of the beta, so I know what it's about, and I really like it. As soon as I finish Uncharted 4, I'm probably gonna play a bit of multiplayer.
Right. I remember Uncharted 2 multiplayer was like a revolutionary for me. Like, it was like the best thing.
Yeah,
I've
Naughty
ever
Dog is
experienced.
really good. Naughty Dog is really good.
Yeah,
at
it was
multiplayer
amazing.
too.
And I'm hoping the Uncharted 4 multiplayer is like that. But speaking for the game as I played it, I'm up to Chapter 3. And like I said before, it has to be the best looking game ever on PC across all systems. I mean, you can't look this pretty, honestly. From the textures to the character models. Yeah, it's on
honestly,
another level.
It's mind-boggling. The PlayStation 4 hardware was considered like not brand new when the PlayStation 4 launched. It was okay hardware, and what they pulled off in this game is just mind-blowing. It looks like it's running on a $10,000 PC. It looks fantastic. It's mind-blowing. You can see little dust particles flying through the air, and the level of detail is just fantastic. There's a timer in the game and the statistics that says how much time have you spent standing still, just looking around. And I'm clocked in at around. Yeah, I'm clocked in at about an hour 20 minutes of just standing around and looking and being like, wow, holy crap.
You're right, though. I mean, the characters, it's almost the uncanny valley of aptitude.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And
the level
with that...
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go off.
I was just going to say, yeah, well, like I said, with the levels, the first 3 levels that I've played, like you said, mind-blowing. And a lot of the problems that Himanshu was talking about with the gun play, it seems like they really listened to what people had to say and took the controlling to a new level. Like I hear later on, the game opens up more. I'm still more on a linear path of, things to do.
So, yeah, it's not necessarily... There's some sections where it's a little bit more open. But the game isn't really... It's still a very linear game. And even in the open sections, there's like multiple paths to get to a certain place. But it's still a linear game. They pulled off what I think is like... They give you an idea and they make an illusion of it being like vastly open and multiple paths, but you end up still going through a straight line, and I think that's fantastic and brilliant. The game, like we said, is beautiful. It's just incredibly beautiful, and the acting, the motion capture, is probably the best I have ever seen. When you look at a cutscene and you see the characters talking to each other, and the facial expressions and the movement, sometimes eyes look really weird in games, this just looks so fantastic. It looks almost lifelike. And just to speak a bit more about how beautiful the game is, the amount of times that I was staring at my screen thinking that there was still a cutscene, and finding out that no, I can play this, was like, oh, I have to play. The transition from cutscenes to gameplay are so seamless, and you barely even notice that you have switched from gameplay to cutscene or from cutscene to gameplay. It's
Yeah.
it's incredible. It's just fantastic. The mechanics are awesome. The mechanics really have drawn a lot from The Last of Us. There's the collectibles are very much identical to The Last of Us. There's journal entries
Yeah.
and letters you can read, and there's optional conversations between the characters, which is fantastic.
Yeah, they took a lot. Like you said, they took a lot from The Last of Us.
Yeah, and it's
that's
no-
probably the
noticeable.
best game of the PS3 generation.
In my
So-
opinion, it's one of the best games of all time, The Last of Us, really. And they took a lot of inspiration from The Last of Us, not necessarily in a story kind of way, because the story isn't really that dark, but yet they did it in a mechanic way, because the way the characters interact with each other once you're trying to stealth down and take down enemies is straight up Joel and Ellie. Like, you have your partner being all stealthy and being just it somehow feels very, very familiar, the interactions between the characters. The game is just fantastic. The shooting mechanics are, I think, the best in the series so far. The climbing
they
mechanics,
really refined them.
yeah, the climbing mechanics are smoother than ever. They figured out a way to, because previously you hanged in something and you moved by pressing X and the direction you wanted to go, and Nate just jumped and jumped and jumped and jumped, and you get to where you were. They did a way where you can control the character's hands sort of like a puppet. So if there's two rocks, you don't necessarily have to press X in the direction of the other rock. You can just move your thumbstick towards that rock, and the player, or well, Nate, reaches out to that and grabs it and goes, and it's fantastic. The story is great. The characters are amazing. It looks beautiful. It plays really well. It's way too good.
Yeah,
It has
and
to be the game of the week.
the production values are off the charts. Yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna be a game. It's gonna be probably a unanimous game of the year for me.
Yeah.
Personally, Dark Souls 3 is. It's so hard to tell because I'm so early in Uncharted 4. But yeah, like you said, it just hits on all the notes. So expect it to be game of the year on many sites, and that's just the way it is because it's an incredible game and a fitting finish for Nathan Drake.
It's game of the week. It's game of the month. It'll probably be game of the year for me.
Game of the generation, game of the
Game of the
millennium,
decade.
game of the century.
Game of
Keep
the human
going.
existence. Just game of the entire race.
The game
Probably.
of the bane of our existence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Game of the universe. So yeah, you can look forward. I'm gonna finish it tonight. Apparently the ending is amazing. I have no idea. I'm gonna finish it tonight. I'm gonna start writing the review tonight, and hopefully tomorrow or in 2 days the review goes up. So you can look forward to that.
Cool. Himanshu, back to you.
I completely zoned out everything you guys were saying. I was doing something else.
I
That's
can
good,
tell.
Yeah.
You guys can read what I'm doing on the Slack channel.
I am. Interesting.
Yeah.
But moving on, I'll try to join them for the spoiler cast next week or in a week and a half, whenever that is. Hopefully, I can get through Uncharted 2, 3, and eventually 4 by that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to play Uncharted 1 through 3 first before you play
Oh,
Uncharted
for sure.
4.
Do not play Uncharted 4 without playing the trilogy first. That's why the Nathan Drake collection dropped. You will miss so many things if you haven't played the first. You will not have connections with the characters. You will not get most the references. This game does a fantastic job of glorifying the previous adventures, of telling you how awesome they were and reminding you of them. So definitely play the first ones.
Yep. So, now that Uncharted is out, let's move on to the topic of the week. What are you guys looking forward to for the rest of the year? Now, I haven't told you guys this yet, but I want a top 3 list.
You want a top 3? You're putting us on the spot now? Jeez.
Yeah, dude. You can do this. I trust you.
All right, so are we going to go... We'll each say
3, and then we'll each say 2, and then we'll each say 1, yeah?
Sounds good.
I'd say that.
Okay. So, Josh, you can start with your third.
Oh, thanks. I don't really have an order, so I'm just going to announce a game that comes to the top of my head first, and that is Dishonored 2, which may be higher, but yeah, I love the first Dishonored, and stepping back into the shoes of Corvo, or whatever his name was, the Master Assassin, sounds like a dream come true, and I can't wait to play it on the PS4.
Cool. My number 3 will be... Oh god, this is really hard.
I'm just looking through a list of games that are dropping out this year to make sure.
Holy moly. I have 2 in my head right now, but those are definitely 1, 2. I'm trying to think. Number 3 will be something.
A game that exists.
Do you know your number 3 yet, Mario?
So, my number 1 this year was Uncharted 4. I already have it, so I'm gonna go for number 3. I'm gonna go No Man's Sky. It releases next year.
Oh, yeah.
Next month, I mean.
Good choice.
To June 21st. It may be either number 3 or number 2. I'm just really looking through a list. But I have Uncharted in my mind. No Man's Sky, it's definitely on my list. For sure.
Cool. So, my number 1 game is... I'm looking through a list.
Hyperdimension Neptunia versus angry people /
slash zombies
pedophiles
plus dancing minus.
You know what? I really don't appreciate how mean you guys are.
It's just fun.
Too easy.
Japanese girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japanese
Senran
girls
Kagura,
are jam for sure.
big boobed.
Hey,
take
Senran
out
Kagura is an amazing game, okay?
I'm just kidding, man.
Wow, there's really... Oh, number 3, The Last Guardian.
Oh,
you
you
still coming
took
out this
mine,
year?
you punk.
Oh shit! I'm gonna make this a top 5. I just whoa. I have a ton of games in my mind. I have no idea how I jumped over them. The Last Guardian for sure. No Man's Sky. I just have a ton of games I just remember that I'm very, very excited for.
That's a good one and I really don't think that game's going to... I hope it's a good game, but I seriously have my doubts about it, but it's the most intriguing of all.
It's going to be garbage. I honestly think it's going to be garbage.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I want it to be so good because Shadow of the Colossus was amazing, but that also didn't take 10 years to develop.
Yeah.
Over 10 years. So, go back to me. I'm going to choose... Wait, what was I going to choose? Yes, Horizon Zero Dawn, which I don't think will come out this year.
Yeah, I think that
even though they said it would.
Horizon doesn't come out this year, I think.
It's a new IP from Sony, and what more could you ask for by the guys that made Killzone?
Exactly.
Doing something as different and open world as this. The demo at E3 stole the show. It looks incredible. Can't wait.
So yeah, Himanshu first, right? Or do I go first?
No, you go first.
Okay, yeah. So I have a ton of games, but I really just nailed it down. Number 3 is definitely No Man's Sky. Number 2, I'm gonna agree with Josh, is gonna be Horizon Zero Dawn. We haven't seen too much of it, but I think it looks fantastic. I'm very, very excited for it. I just wanna get it in my hands already.
Yes.
So again, lots of games coming out, but I think my number 2 will be, unsurprisingly, Hatsune Miku Project UX.
Of course.
I was taking a shower this morning, and all I could think
having
about
that poster, right there.
Yeah, how badly I want to play.
So,
Hatsune
one question.
Miku.
I know Hatsune Miku is on a tour on the US right now. Is she going to Canada?
Yeah, she's coming to Toronto.
And are you
Wait a
going?
second.
I'd assume you're going.
Is this a real person?
Oh,
No.
no. It's
I
an
was
anime
like,
character.
Completely digital. It's
Yeah, it's an
completely
anime
digital.
character.
Okay,
But
but
they-
you said a concert. What? are you
Yeah,
talking about?
it's a
Yeah,
tour.
It's like
it's
the
a
Tupac concert.
It's a
That's what you need
huge
to think
tour.
of.
Oh,
it's-
okay.
It's like their gorillas, basically. They put
I
up a
see.
hologram, and it has guitars, and they give the crowd glow sticks, and it's apparently super cool.
Yeah.
So I'd assume you're going, right, Himanshu?
I don't know yet. It's
He'll have all these teeny boppers next to him.
it's really hard for me to justify the price of going to Toronto for this, because again, not a real person.
Not a real person.
I
That's true.
don't know anyone who would be coming with me, and again, I can listen to higher quality music, higher quality versions of the same music at home.
Yeah, but nothing compares to going to a concert, even though she's not real, but it's still. Going to a concert is a special thing.
I guess, but again, hard for me to justify the price. So
Yeah, makes sense. I, for one, you are really into Japanese girls. I, for one, am a huge, insane Taylor Swift fan. I went to a concert over here. The ticket cost me, insane amounts of money. Really insane amounts of money. But I loved it. So I think you should do it, because those experiences are really fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking into it. There is one concert that I really want to go to though. During E3 week, there's a kind of no. What was I about to say? A Kingdom Hearts orchestral concert.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
In
that
LA.
looks fun. Yeah, that sounds cool.
The one good thing about
during
that
E3
game
week.
is the music. So
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
So if I do end up getting confirmed for E3, I'm gonna be looking into going to that.
All right. So number one, Josh. What's your number one?
My number one, it was Dark Souls 3, but that already released, so I got to dig in the barrel here. And I actually forgot that Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming out for the PS4 this year.
That's true. That's true.
And
That's
I
a good
wanted to
pick.
play it when it came out, but it was only on the Xbox One. And, I'm not going to buy an Xbox One for a game, even though I really wanted to play it. So I'm going to get my Uncharted fix, and then later in the year, be able to play Rise of the Tomb Raider and hear all the awesome things people had to say about it.
Awesome. So, I already nailed down my number one. I'm going to give a quick honorable mention to Batman, a Telltale game series. I am really looking forward to what that
cool.
is. I'm very excited. I'm a huge Batman fan, and playing a Telltale Batman game sounds just incredible to me. But that's an honorable mention. My number one, as may not be a surprise for anybody, is freaking Persona 5. I cannot wait to play that game. I'm beyond excited for that game. The two main games.
I cannot wait to say my number one.
The two main games I was excited for were this year were Uncharted 4 and Persona, and I already got Uncharted. I love it. Can't wait to play Persona 5. So Himanshu.
And my number one, the number one that will demolish Persona 5, Final Fantasy 15.
Wow, these are fighting words.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see Final Fantasy 15.
Finally,
I think it has potential to be the greatest Final Fantasy game of all time. It can also be a dud. So let's see what happens.
Oh gosh, as long as they don't go Final Fantasy 13 route.
I honestly would be surprised if that game is anything below good. I really want to see what it is.
It can't be.
It can't be. If that game isn't at least great, it can't be. It's been on development for fucking 10 years. It has to be at least good.
You know,
it better be better than good.
Exactly. It should be.
Anyway, whatever state it comes out in, you guys know that I will be the first person to tell you if it sucks. And I'll be very loud about it.
Yeah, he will be very loud.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited.
He will go Super Saiyan on everyone.
At least the first episode of the anime has been pretty good so far. I don't know if you guys.
It's on my watch list. I have it on my watch it later list. I'm gonna.
It's like 10 minutes long, man.
Yeah, I have it. I really want to. I'm gonna do it. I may wait for every episode to release and just binge it.
Yeah.
Binge it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider, I really enjoyed. I don't know what the first one was called. I think it was just Tomb Raider.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't have like a... Okay. Well, I enjoyed Tomb Raider. I liked it a lot more than Uncharted. So, looking forward to Rise of the Tomb Raider.
In
looking
all
forward
fairness,
to compare,
that Uncharted... That
looking
Tomb
forward
Raider,
to compare...
Yeah, that Tomb Raider released a lot later.
Uncharted 4 and Rise of the Tomb Raider. Looking forward to compare those two. Thank you.
But they're not...
For letting me speak, Mario.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But they're not really... They're very similar games, but they're not really
I think they're exactly the same game, to be quite frank.
Nah, I disagree a bit. I think they're kind of different. But in my mind, Uncharted
I think they're pretty different.
Yeah, I think they're different. I don't think they're the same thing at all.
They're the same general concept.
Exactly, yeah. It's about climbing and shooting, but that's about it.
Exactly. They're the same thing. But anyway, now that is out of the way, let's talk about okay, so we've amended the title for the next segment, which used to be highlight an obscure PSN title. We realized there aren't very many obscure PSN titles. Contrary to what we thought. So now we're just doing random PSN titles, such that there isn't so much pressure on us to find random games. And this week, Josh,
it can be random.
Exactly.
The randomness comes in the
Josh,
form.
why don't you tell us what the game is this week?
Yes. The randomness comes in the form of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Now, I don't know how many of you have played The Binding of Isaac.
I played it. Yeah.
PS Plus get free game. So many people have played it. But this new add-on adds a ridiculous amount of content and changes to the aesthetic, the graphics, the music, the bosses, adds bosses, enemies, many different textures. It looks better. It plays better. There's now like over 500 items you can find and use, each with a unique purpose. And Yeah, it's the total package. I love the game when it first came out because it's really different and it's storytelling about a boy who his mom becomes a lunatic, really.
Yeah.
And hears from an almighty power that she has to kill her son to be totally holy or something. So he goes into the deep recesses of his brain and has to fight his way through dungeons. And yeah, the whole concept is pretty neat. And yeah, like I said, the amount of options you can have, it's a roguelike, so you're going to be replaying multiple times. But once you get a good run where you get the perfect items, it's totally awesome. Like, some items can totally put you back, and you learn which items not to get, which ones to get to make like the ultimate weapon. So can't recommend it enough. It's the DLC just came out for $10.99 on the PSN store for America. So yeah, go ahead and purchase that up because it's definitely worth it, and it's a game you can play for hours on end.
Yep, I played Binding of Isaac back in the day, like years ago. We used to play it in my music class because my music teacher didn't care what we were doing. But yeah, back then the game was built on like Flash or something, and it just crashed constantly, and we still loved it. I had like 40 hours on the PC version, the PC vanilla version.
Yeah.
So yeah, game is awesome.
It's been out for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like even before it came to the PS4. I mean, or anything else. It was out on the PC for years. Then the big hit for them was, what was it called? Meat Boy, Super Meat Boy. That's what put them on the map.
Super Meat Boy.
It's by the same people that made that. So check it out. Definitely.
I actually think it was probably Indie Game the movie that put them on the map for making Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good movie, by the way.
Yeah, good movie. It was a little bit biased, but
yeah,
whatever.
Preachy. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. There's not a lot of documentaries that aren't, so right.
You said it. Yep.
So I think that about wraps up what we wanted to talk about this week.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys would like to mention?
No, like I said, I mentioned Civil War at the beginning. Like, can't get enough of Spider-Man. Himanshu's deep love and respect for the web slinger comes in full effect, and we pay homage to him.
Thank you, Spider-Man based god.
Yes. So yeah, I look to get back to Uncharted 4 after we get done recording tonight, honestly, and I just want to play through that. And
yeah, I'm gonna finish
everything
it
else
tonight.
is going to be put to the wayside, honestly. I have no reviews to worry about, so, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to. I don't know whether I want to play Mega Tag Mansion or Uncharted 2. I might have to just flip a coin, but going to do that, and hopefully. Oh wait. I have to, if you guys haven't checked out yet, the listeners, there's a new series that I'm doing every Friday on YouTube called It Came From Japan, and it's where I highlight a random Japanese game that really has no circumstance or qualification. I just like it, and so I talk about it.
You have the power.
Yeah, you should go check that out. And I'm gonna go write the script for the next episode after this.
Great. So yeah, like I said, I'm the news editor. You can check in daily, but I'm gonna review Uncharted 4. It's gonna come out, the review, hopefully by the time you're listening to this. If not, maybe a day later. I'm gonna finish it tonight. We're recording this on Tuesday. I'm gonna finish this tonight and start writing the review. So definitely look forward to that.
Today's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, today's Wednesday. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Wednesday. Sorry. We usually record on Tuesday, so I'm a little bit off. But definitely look forward to it. Spoiler alert, I really, really like it. So look forward to that.
as do most people by its 94 average Metacritic.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think I'm alone here, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, you are not.
Yeah. So you can check out Coffin Dodgers review, Mega Tag Mentions review, Uncharted 4 review,
Valkyria Chronicles review.
Valkyria Chronicles, Battle Chronos, whatever it's called. It's boring,
Battle
but
Worlds
anyway.
Chronos, right?
Exactly. It came from Japan. All of the stuff that Brett's doing, which is awesome as well.
Top 5 list, yeah.
Top 5 list.
Oh yeah, by the way,
should have been a Vita
check
game.
out. Yeah, that's true. Check out Franchise Chat. It's Brett and me doing it. It's basically him and me just talking about Uncharted. So definitely check that out too.
Yep. So Franchise Chat, and yeah, lots of stuff for you to watch. Look out for the crossover episode with Crass. What is it called? Class versus Crass, something like that.
Right.
Their podcast.
Crass versus Class, Class versus Crass. Yep.
something. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring enough to sticking with us for 7 episodes. If you've done so, if you haven't, go back and check out those last 7 episodes, or last 6 episodes rather. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at SenorBrownCat, SenorBrowncat. I try to say funny things sometimes. Usually it doesn't come out that way. Usually it just seems really rude. If you like that, you can follow me.
It's like, who is this dick on my Twitter feed?
Man, this dude's really bitter. And he's just trying to make jokes. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Follow me on Twitter and social media and stuff at Mario Not Bros.
Because you're not a brother.
Because I'm not one of the brothers. And also, fun fact, my last name is very, very hard to pronounce. So, I went with something a little bit simpler.
Yep.
Very good.
Josh, where can they find you?
Okay, on Twitter, I'm at @_the_Brant, MINUSTHEBRANT. And you can find me on over the PSN at the same name. And yep, that's all.
Yep.
Cool. We will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.